Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Texans Talk Tonight. I am excited to have you here for this video because it's an interesting one. And as you saw by the thumbnail, we're going to be discussing our rookie quarterback, Davis Mills, taken in the third round, 67th overall in this past draft. And we're going to, as I said on the thumbnail, we're going to do some scouting and film watching and just kind of see some things we like, see some things we don't like from his college film, and talk about how that can translate to the NFL level. Before that, I'm just going to give you my thoughts about, the pick itself and just my expectations personally for Davis Mills' future with the Texans. So when the pick happened, I was kind of upset, and it had nothing to do with Davis Mills. It was just like the idea of taking a quarterback in general. Because my mentality is you've got Tyrod Taylor, who is probably going to be your starter. And, I think the owners quite well that this is not a team that's expected to contend, a team that is headed towards a massive rebuild that is going to be focused on getting younger and accumulating draft capital. So it just kind of feels like a wasted pick in a sense, because odds are Davis Mills is not going to play enough in 2021 to be able to prove if he's a potential franchise quarterback or not. Because 5 games, you can't make the judgment on that. So I think that even with drafting Davis Mills, there's a chance in round 1 of 2022 we'll likely be taking a quarterback. And I'll do a video on that sometime in the future about if we're going to take a quarterback or not with our top pick in the next draft. I just think it'll end up kind of being like almost like Ryan Finley in Cincinnati. The Bengals drafted him, and I think it was in the 4th round or something. Not a total commitment to a franchise quarterback, just trying to see what you got. Was playing behind a veteran, Andy Dalton, and eventually Dalton got benched. Finley played a little bit, but then the Bengals still eventually ended up drafting Joe Burrow, so Finley was just kind of stuck in limbo and ended up being a career backup. That's kind of what I see for Davis Mills. Again, I have nothing against Davis Mills as a player. I had a 3rd round grade on him anyway. Just the idea of us taking a quarterback when we're projected to already do so bad, and the quarterback that we took probably isn't going to even see the field. So by next year's draft, when you're making your decisions on what player to take, you won't really have anything to judge off of when it comes to, saying, all right, is this guy we got last year the answer? No, you're going to say, well, I don't know. So then, we're not going to, take a risk and, just bank on a guy we've only seen play 5 meaningless games at the end of the season when we're 1-12. Let's take Sam Howell or Spencer Rattler. And then we do, and that's fine. But then you look back on that, and then Davis Mills is basically a wasted pick. That's my prediction. I think or another good example, I think it'll turn out to be like Jarrett Stidham in New England. You draft him, he sees some playing time, some development, but at the end of the day, just a few years later, he gets overshadowed by a 1st round quarterback. In Stidham's case, it was Mac Jones, maybe. Stidham's still on New England, but now he's more of a backup role. Wasn't really ever, in true contention to be the franchise guy. That's what I see for Davis Mills. I don't anticipate him being the next franchise quarterback of the Texans. Not really completely due to his ability, just because I don't think the opportunity for him to prove himself will come in time for him to prevent the Texans from drafting a quarterback in 2022. That's also kind of the reason I don't completely understand taking a quarterback. But I think regardless, now that I've explained my, kind of distaste with the pick, although I think distaste is a harsh word, because I think anytime your team takes a rookie quarterback in any round, it's exciting. You're excited to watch the film on the player if you haven't already, to get to know the player, listen to his press conferences, see the reaction of him getting drafted. I'm excited to have Davis Mills in Houston. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited to watch him in preseason and regular season if he plays, which I think if he does play in the regular season, it'll be like later on. I think Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starter, and I don't think the Texans should try and force Taylor out of the starting job. I think if Tyrod Taylor is playing well, he should be starting. If he plays well the whole season, start him the whole season. If he starts playing bad, then maybe you put Davis Mills in, but I don't think they should try and force Davis Mills in and kind of, kick Tyrod Taylor from his starting role for no reason other than wanting to get Davis Mills in. If Tyrod's playing well, I think he should continue to be the starter, but that's for a different video. So as far as Davis Mills, again, kind of don't think he'll have an opportunity to prove himself much, but regardless, I think it's exciting whenever your team drafts a rookie quarterback. I think there's a lot to look at. You wonder, what is he good at? What is he not good at? What will he bring to the team? Will he get his opportunity with the team to prove himself? That's something I already touched on. So like I said earlier, we're going to go look at some things of some film of Davis Mills in college from 2020. and just kind of talk about, things we like, show some plays, talk about it, talk about the year he had, and then also some things we don't like. So just a general film session and overview of what Davis Mills did in college, what I think he'll bring to the Texans, and what I think his future with the Texans will be, which I kind of already went over this last one. So that last one I already talked about what I think he's going to end up being with the Texans, kind of more of a Ryan Finley, Jarrett Stidham type role player. But I could be wrong. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. Hey, maybe he's the next Tom Brady. I'd love for that. But again, I welcome Davis to the Texans with open arms. Seems excited to be here from what I can tell, so that's always good, especially with like so many people bashing our culture and our team, which in some cases it's justified, but still always nice to see people energetic, excited to be in Houston. So without further ado, we're going to start looking at Davis Mills. What do we like? What do we not like? What will he bring to the Houston Texans? Let's get started.
An area where I think Davis Mills often succeeds is with throws over the middle. I think this is a strong part of his game. I think he likes a lot of routes over the middle. I think he's comfortable with them. So I think the Texans offense should try to incorporate a lot of those into the game plan when Mills is playing. So I'm going to show you a few clips here and just kind of go through them and show you what I think is one of Davis Mills' better strengths. Let's take a look at the game against UCLA here. You see Mills didn't really get all of his body into that throw, but still able to make a nice throw down the middle of the field right where it needs to be for a big gain. Here you see in the game against Colorado, similar route, but this time Mills has more time to plant his feet. Good footwork, puts the throw right on the money, again on a similar type of a post route down the middle of the field.
So here I want to take more of an in-depth look, because basically you can see a couple of things here. Obviously Stanford here, as you can see, down by a significant margin in the second half, so trying to get the ball downfield, trying to get first downs. If you notice, in between the kind of top right part of the S and then the area to the right of that, so towards the top right area of the screen, you'll see a lot of open space with no defenders, and clearly you can see on this play Davis Mills sees that. Watch when he releases the ball, you can tell he knows that his receiver is going to be there and he's going to have open grass to go up there and make a play with no defender in range to potentially pick off the ball or break it up. I'm going to roll the play for you, just wanted to point this out first. Let's take a look.
Now on the other hand, something I think Mills could improve on is anticipating the defenders. And you'll see more specifically what I mean by that in these next few clips. Actually, all three of the interceptions Davis Mills threw in the 2020 season, albeit he only played 5 games, but still all 3 of the interceptions he threw last season were in the same game, and it was this game against UCLA. Take a look. So in this game against UCLA, there was really a lot of ups and downs for Davis Mills, but you can see there just simply not enough on the throw, and the defender was easily able to anticipate that one and make the interception. Right here, kind of the same idea. You see Mills take the snap, kind of locks onto the receiver right away, and just floats a ball that, one, does not have enough strength on it to get to the receiver in time, especially in that tight of a window. But again, the defender is able to read Mills like a book and make the interception. This one you see Davis Mills, nice velocity and strength on the throw, but simply, it's like he made up his mind where he was going to throw it before the snap, and it came back to bite him. The defender knew exactly where the ball was going, at least it seemed like it, and it resulted in a pick 6. So as you can see, I am a bit concerned about Davis Mills' anticipating defenders' ability. I feel like, as the last 3 clips shows, sometimes he just locks onto the one receiver too quickly, and in that game it did come back to bite him all those 3 times. But something he does well, I think, are fade routes and over-the-shoulder throws. This is one of the first things I noticed, actually, when I watched film on him after the Texans drafted him, when I went back and watched him more. So take a look. Again, we're going to go back to the UCLA game. I feel like this is a game where you can really see the best and worst of Davis Mills, but nice ball placement there, right in the breadbasket for the receiver to haul it in. Here you see on this play down in the red zone, just perfect touch on this throw, nice ball placement over the first defender. The other defender isn't even in a position to really make a play, but just nice touch here you see on the replay. Receiver, he's the only one that's getting it, defender's not getting it. Good ball placement by Davis Mills on this play. Okay, this one I love down in the red zone. Just look at that perfect ball placement. Saw the one-on-one matchup. And I want to point out a couple things here on the replay. So once we get to that, here it is. First of all, sees the one-on-one matchup, sees the receiver's got a clear angle, puts the ball where it needs to be. And I love the way this route is run because this receiver kind of reminds me of Nico Collins a little bit, the guy we drafted out of Michigan. I could definitely see Collins running similar routes like that receiver just ran on that play down in the red zone. So good to see Mills succeed. This one's another one of my favorites here. Third down, you're going to see Mills take the snap, look up top, and just look at the beautiful ball placement right in the breadbasket. The defender doesn't even turn around. The receiver really just, had to put his arms out. You see there, defender couldn't get there. The receiver did haul it in here upon review. As you see, he still got it there. So you got the football move. So it looks like a clean catch, but that's not the point. The point is Davis Mills put that ball right where it needed to be. Another thing I think Mills could improve on is getting through more of his progressions, but also, just getting through them faster. I think that there's times where Mills just either locks onto one receiver too quickly or too often, and I think he needs to work on going through his reads faster and more efficiently at the next level. So we're going to take a look at a few clips here where I just think he made the decision too quick, did not go through all his reads. Let's look at these videos here. So this one you see Mills looking downfield, really makes up his mind right away, but the defensive back also made up his mind right away too. He saw that play. The ball was in the air for a long time, so the DB could simply just jump up and make a play on it. This one here you see Mills right away, even with the defender running at him and in his face, he just simply throws it quickly. That should have been intercepted, and another decision by Mills that was not a good one and almost came back to haunt him in the worst way.
Here you can see Mills kind of eyes exactly what he's going to do right away. Tries to hit that out route to the right, but he just simply locked on the receiver too much and too quickly, and the corner knew exactly where Mills was going. And something I think he does well also is game managing. And I feel like the term game manager for a quarterback is often used in a negative connotation, but don't get me wrong, there are times where being a game manager can actually be very helpful to your team, especially maybe when they're up late and trying to bleed clock, or when they're down by a bunch and they're just trying to get back in it, build confidence. So I think the game managing ability of Davis Mills is actually something that I view more of as a strength rather than a weakness. I'll show you some examples. Here's an example of a drive where I think Davis Mills just does an excellent job of managing the game, playing smart, taking what the defense gives them. And again, it doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound flashy. A lot of these throws are simple throws, although that was a nice one there. But you get the point. Not trying to get it all in one play, just taking what the defense allows, using his receivers, using his guys around him well. I really just think that, not always pretty, but it can pay dividends. And here you see on this drive, again, he looks calm, he looks confident. It's either his guy gets it or no one gets it. He knows where his receivers are going. Look here, hey, simple screen pass, but hey, look, third down conversion. Gets a first down, gets you close to the 10-yard line. Not going to complain about that. Down 2 scores, trying to get back in the game. First down, Mills tries to get it. Hey, his receiver gets it or no one gets it. No worries. He looks calm back there. He knows what he's doing. Second down. He's got the receiver, but just through his hands. Maybe a little too much on that throw, but no worries. Third down, so you still basically got 2 plays. And again, I mentioned this earlier. I think I showed this play earlier, actually. But I love what Davis Mills does on fade routes and back shoulder throws, especially down by the goal line. We'll show the replay. But there you see a real nice drive from Davis Mills. Game managing, taking what the defense gives him, and it resulted in a touchdown. Here you see another scenario of Davis Mills just managing the game well. No one open, fine, I'll run it for myself, get a first down. You like to see it. Again, I get it, it's not the coolest highlights or, the things that get you the most excited, but I mean, I really think that the Texans are going to use Mills' game managing ability to his advantage, and to their advantage. I think they'll use routes he likes. I think they'll get him time in the pocket, get him to roll out like he did just there, and I really do believe that game managing ability as a quarterback can actually be an underrated part of a guy's skill set, and that yes, sometimes it could hold a guy back in terms of what he's able to do and what plays you're able to run. I think that game managing and just that mental aspect of the game, knowing your abilities as a quarterback, knowing what you can and can't do, knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, and also knowing those of the guys around you, I think is something huge, as that ball should have been caught, by the way. So there you have it. That game managing ability is not something that should be taken lightly. But anyway, something I think Mills could improve on.
is gaining experience. And you'll notice this one's a little different because I'm not actually going to really show video on this. I'm just going to kind of talk about it. And this one isn't Mills' fault. It's just a lot of people with Davis Mills, they thought that maybe if he stayed another year in college and then declared for the draft in 2022, that then maybe he could have been a first-round pick. But he opted to obviously enter the draft in 2021. The Texans took him. I had mixed feelings about it. If you want to hear those again, go watch the beginning of the video. But to keep it short, I think Mills is not quite ready to be a starting quarterback in the NFL yet. I think just with the limited college experience, I think it's best for him to sit behind a veteran in Tyrod Taylor, learn from the coaching staff. Of course, he'll get some playing time in preseason, but similarly to how we talk about Trey Lance in San Francisco and say, well, the guy's got potential, but he's just still a little raw of a prospect. He still didn't have that much experience, at least compared to some of the other draft prospects in college, so it's best for him to sit behind a veteran in Trey Lance. He's going to sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo for a little bit, which I think is the right thing. And in Houston, all signs point to Davis Mills sitting behind a veteran for at least a little bit, which I think is a good thing. So that's what I really think Davis Mills needs to do. Just learn from the coaching staff. There's a lot of great coaches on our staff. Head coach David Culley is someone who continues to grow on me. I love his personality and passion for the game. I think he's going to be a great players coach, and he's been around a lot of good quarterbacks. And the same could be said for Pep Hamilton, who helped develop Justin Herbert last year in Los Angeles with the Chargers. So I think that he should be a positive influence on Davis Mills as well. So really just for Davis Mills, something that I think is going to be big this year, just soak it all in, learn from the guys around you, do what, and then just see where that takes you. Again, as I stressed in the beginning of the video, I just don't know if Davis Mills is going to be able to show enough or prove enough about himself to stop the Texans from drafting a quarterback with their first-round pick in 2022. But hey, anytime you draft a rookie quarterback, it's exciting. You should embrace it. You should learn about the player and the person he is. And hey, we've got preseason games coming up really soon. The Green Bay game is August 14th to start the preseason. And I'm sure Mills will get a good amount of playing time in that game as well as other preseason games. So with that, again, I just think it's important that Davis Mills sits on the bench for a little while and learns from the guys around him before he gets any consideration for the starting job. Again, kind of similar to the Trey Lance situation in San Francisco right now. But I am going to show you a few more things before we wrap up this video.
I just wanted to give you guys a chance to look at Davis Mills' stats from this past season. Again, obviously, the Pac-12 was a little bit late to the party when it came to getting the 2020 college football season underway. I think their first game was like the week after Halloween, maybe November-ish. Yes, because Davis Mills missed the first game for Stanford, and then you see the second game November 14th. I just want to give you a chance to look at his stats. 4 out of the 5 games were INT-free. That's good, and then a couple times, or actually a lot of time, you see really good completion percentages. First week was just okay, but then you see 75%, 66.7, 73.3, 68.1 completion percentages in those final 4 games of the season. That's really good. Again, only interceptions were in the UCLA game. So just wanted to give you guys a chance to skim these over. Again, not always the highest yard total, as you see some of his yard totals passing were in the 200s, but again, that's that game manager ability. I do think Davis Mills is a pretty smart player, and before we wrap up the video, I do want to give you a detailed scouting report of him. Obviously, once we drafted Davis Mills, I did a more extensive look into his game film, and here is what I saw. So here is that detailed scouting report. Feel free to press pause on the video if you want to take a look at this for a longer time. Again, I made this scouting report and watched more extensive film on him after we drafted him, but I did make this scouting report objectively, meaning I didn't, factor any wishful thinking into it. If I saw something bad, I wrote it down. If I saw something good, I took note of it as well. But I just want to give you guys an opportunity to look at this detailed scout. And then lastly, I have some essential questions for the 2021 season surrounding Davis Mills. First, I've really talked about this a lot, but I'll say it again. Will he be able to prevent the Texans from drafting a QB early in 2022? I really just don't think so, but hey, maybe he'll light it up and get a ton of playing time and prove me wrong. When and if he plays this year, will he be able to play his best with the supporting cast he would have? I think so. I think our receivers are kind of underrated, especially with the guys we brought in the draft and with trades.
And then lastly, will his lack of college starting experience significantly impact his transition into the NFL? I think so, just in the sense that, like I've talked about earlier in the video, I think that he's going to be waiting a little while to see the field, at least as a starter, which I think makes sense. He's very young, he had limited college experience, and people were saying that maybe he should have declared next year in 2022 and maybe stayed another year for school. So I just think Davis Mills will be taking his time on the bench, which is fine. It's something a lot of rookie quarterbacks have to go through. But again, I'm excited to have Davis Mills here. I think that he has got some, things to improve on. He's not very experienced in some areas, but also I think he's got some great skill sets. I think he's excited to be in Houston. I think there is some potential there with Davis Mills, so I am excited to have him here with the Texans, and he'll get a lot of playing time in preseason, I'm sure. And as far as the regular season, I guess time will tell when we will see, if we will see Davis Mills starting for the Texans. So that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, feel free to comment what you think about Davis Mills. Texans fans, I want to hear what you think. What do you think about the pick? What was your reaction? Do you think he has a chance to maybe win the starting job? If not, when or if you think he will suit up this season for the Texans as the starter? What are some things you liked or didn't like about him when you watched his college film? I want to hear it all. Obviously, like I say, it is always exciting when your team drafts a rookie quarterback, especially with their first pick. So embrace it. He might just be the next Jarrett Stidham, like I kind of predicted. Again, this video was not meant to bash on Davis Mills. I just don't know if he'll have enough opportunities to prove himself before the draft comes around again in 2022, and the Texans are likely going to be picking high in that draft. So this might not be the last rookie quarterback that the Texans will see. I feel like there's a very good chance that in 2022 I could be making a similar video discussing a new rookie quarterback the Texans drafted. Obviously, if we draft a guy like Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell or maybe Malik Willis or someone else in 2022, that is a topic for another time. But for now, Davis Mills is here. He's got potential. He's got some things that he did really well in college, and he seems excited to be a Texan, and the Texans seem excited to have him. So as always, again, let me know what you think in the comments below about Davis Mills, about this video, about anything else Texans or football related. I am here for it. But again, that is the conclusion of this video. I enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And we will see you guys on the next episode of Texans Talk Tonight.